Cigarettes are taxed, alcohol is taxed, casinos are taxed. That company that keeps you glued to your phone for 6 hours a day, not taxed. My name is Larry, and after a decade of working with Fortune 100 companies to help them get the most value out of their data, I've come to the other side to help us understand how data can truly help us live better lives. Today, I'm going to introduce a novel topic, and I want to make sure that you can understand why this would benefit us greatly. The idea that I'm coming with is a data tax. How might you go about taxing data, and how is it not being taxed today? Well, if you think about the attention economy, you log into your Instagram account, to your Threads account, to your Twitter account, to YouTube, and eventually you're served ads. And the reason why they're able to serve you ads is because they have data. They have your watch history, they have demographics about you, they have profile information, and they can work with marketers who want to fill that ad slot to say, hey, this is the person who we feel would most likely click on your ad and eventually convert and purchase, right? It's the consumerism world that we live in here in America. Now, during that transaction, you have the marketer who buys the ad space, and you have the platform who's selling that ad space. That transaction there between the marketer and the platform, well, that is facilitated by data. And this data is really what helps to orchestrate this full marketplace. So that data would be considered an asset. But that data is an asset class that is not taxed at all. But what if we took that data, and data lives in a database, and some of these databases are 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, 200 million. And what do we really want to think about here? Well, why do you have those many records? Are you using those records? Are some of those records stale? Is my data just sitting out on a database and not being used by anyone? Well, why would you continue to have that? I think if we tax the data itself, it would disincentivize companies from just having stale data sitting all around their databases. So the first thing that I'm introducing the data tax for is security, right? And to actually clean up the whole ecosystem of data where we just have data sitting across all of these different databases. What will also happen with a data tax is that companies will have to be a lot more thoughtful about the utilization of data. If I'm a brand and I interact with you on a regular basis and I purchase from you, I have a high customer lifetime value, well then I'm going to continue to have that record and I'm going to store that because data storage is so cheap that I might as well just store all of the data that I can. Well, if you introduce a disincentive, a tax, on top of that, then the calculation changes and then they have to go through and actually clean up their databases. So cleaner data sets, will then be kind of cleaned up in the ecosystem overall. It will also create a disincentive for companies who are spamming. So if you are a brand or a company and you're just trying to go out here and just kind of shotgun all of these different ads across different users to try to figure out who would be most likely to purchase and convert, then you don't have any sort of understanding of the likelihood of that data to convert. They aren't a known customer. They aren't someone who you actually have any history around. You're just trying to spam as many people as possible. Well, then that turns your business model upside down because there's a higher cost of actually holding on to that data, to having that data. So it would reduce spam in that way. And I think everyone could agree we could use less spam. The third thing that I believe having a data tax could do is to help clean up a lot of the byproducts of this internet that we live in today. All of the mental health, the inability to pull away from your phone, the need to actually get out in person. I do believe there should be a social good component that comes out of the funds that will come in from that data tax. Now, there's a lot of different ideas. There could be an education structure. There could be mental health resources. To me, this data tax makes so much sense. Now, at FranklyData, we utilize data to help you understand yourself, to understand the patterns that you are actually sprinkling across the internet. We utilize tools to help surface insights so that you could live a better life, so that you could have more awareness. The same awareness that these companies have about you, we feel that you should have about yourself, right? It's your data. You should be able to use your data to live a better life, to understand more about yourself. And we do believe that data is leaving a breadcrumbs around how you live your life, the way that you want to live your life. And if you make everyone more aware of it, I believe that they could live a better life. So please continue to follow, subscribe if you haven't, if you made it this far, give FranklyData.com a chance. I look forward to creating more videos like this.